Here, share out the live, and remember, tap that screen to 22K, always raising awareness at 22 a day. So Chief, let's kick it off. I am getting energized. I am having my cup of coffee. Do you have your cup of coffee? Are you ready?
I've got some coffee. I didn't have time, though, to stop by my P.O. box
No.
yesterday, so I'm kind of bummed about that. I'm hoping that they're open a little bit this morning, so after Coffee Talk, I can go grab my coffee.
Fantastic. So if you all were a part of last night's live, you heard Sunny say that Operator Coffee, actually, I may have not mentioned it. I made a video about it. Veteran owned, and Rose 22, hashtag never alone. I had a wonderful conversation with him. Their vision, their mission that they've got going on off even the TikTok platform, they're fairly new to TikTok, Operator Coffee. But they are doing incredible things out there. Their mission actually aligns very nicely with what myself and 420 Chief are doing on and off this platform. So I definitely had a conversation with them. Stay tuned. There might be a code coming soon. So I had it last night for our Veterans Live. That's when I kicked off my first cup of coffee with all of you in support of their coffee. It's actually a really nice blend. Check out their website, guys, because they have a lot, actually. They have a protein coffee, guys. Who doesn't need protein in the morning? But it's actually a really smooth flavor. I love it. So I definitely made some this morning, and I am a K-cup girl. This is bag, so I had to make a pot, but they do sell K-cups. I'm like, what? So that's pretty awesome, and they sell samples, so you don't have to buy the whole bag. So definitely give them a look at, check out their website, get some coffee. I know they have, I think, a 10% off discount right now. I'm going to let him know what I thought about the coffee, because I do love my coffee. And see what we can work out as far as getting all of you, the Sunnyside fam, an additional discount. So we'll kick it off as we always do. A little bit of a recap from last night's Veterans Live. I walked away feeling really good. I needed last night's live. It was a wonderful sense of community, love, and support. And I just appreciated everyone that was in attendance. And if you couldn't be there, understand, lifing, as I call it, life be lifing. But always love having you. Chief?
Yeah, we kind of were all over the place. You talked about when you came in the live that you were tired, and a lot of folks had mentioned that they were tired. And I think that's funny because our last Coffee Talk the week before was about getting rest, And
Yeah.
so we talked a little bit about how to get out of the funk and doing the things that you love to do and getting on mission. And that's something that you talked about with Operator Coffee, that's their mission and our mission. But so many people, I feel like, are burnt out just doing the things that drain them instead of really fueling them up. So that's, I think, what our topic today was about, right?
Absolutely. How do you fill your cup? Community helps, guys. Honestly, that's what I took away from last night. How community can truly help redirect you when you're going through something or feeling like you're on E and need more fuel. And that God honest truth is we are each other's fuel. But at the end of the day, if we're going to be honest with ourselves, it's a personal responsibility to fuel yourself. It's not anyone else's job. And we have to work extra hard at that. And we've talked about this many times, actually. It's not an easy job. It's easier to fill somebody else's cup than it is to fill your own. Would you agree, Chief?
Oh, for sure. It's always easier to do things. Like for me, I would rather help other people than help myself. Like I'll put down what I'm working on to help other people most of the time. And I feel like that's kind of the same. We live in a world that pushes us to be so independent, so hard, and we forget that we can ask for help, or even forget that we can receive help. And I struggle with that still a lot myself because I'm used to doing things on my own. This is something that you'd mentioned last night, physically being alone a lot of the time, you get used to doing things for yourself, even just cooking. And so when I have company, it's hard to even just receive help cleaning up.
Yeah, I do. Absolutely. Receiving help, I'm one of those people too. And I'm a helper, go figure, right? So when somebody wants to help me, I'm like, no, I got this. It's work in progress, guys. It's work in progress. Letting people in, especially when you're in a vulnerable state where you don't necessarily know how to share or know how to talk or want to express. It's easier to just kind of like get in your bubble. As Big Brother Rob, I don't think he's in here just yet. Let's share out the live to him. Hashtag bubble life. I think I probably hashtagged a few times, and even in your own lives this week, I'm like, I need a bubble this week. I need my own bubble. It's an escape. Now, here's the thing. Sunny will talk about isolation, it overall not being a good thing, but there are good parts to isolation, sitting with oneself in silence, reflection, getting a hold of your thoughts and trying to identify if those thoughts are relevant, or is it just our minds taking off like a rocket ship and leading us into that personal sabotage, which we all do. I mean, let's be honest, we all do it, So then it requires work, and it's like, it's really hard. It's really hard. Am I thinking correctly and whatnot? But like I say to you guys, I'm transparent. I'm not perfect, and I have to work on myself every single day. The healing journey is not a one-day thing. Even if you just came off of a really good high, and what I mean by that is like everything's going great, and then all of a sudden you're derailed, and it'll throw you off. And it's not that you've taken what you just had for granted. It's just where you are and you're working through it.
Yes, and I think a lot of people think, you mentioned sitting in silence, a lot of people think that means just shutting everything out, and that is absolutely not the case. That's just noticing your thoughts. Sit there and notice your thoughts and don't get dragged in by them. That means just sit there and give yourself that uninterrupted, disturbed time and think and process. And I'm certain that irregardless of what the issue is in your life, if you sit down for just an hour quietly and just let the thoughts go, you'll come to a solution, because we don't give ourselves enough time when we're sitting there in silence. We let the thoughts run off. But if you just sit there and take it all in for like an hour, you'll probably come to a resolution. And that's hard to do. Yeah. That's really hard practice, and I think that's why so many folks push meditation, because it's basically budgeted time that you can sit there and go into your silence and process. And for me, if I say no, sit there for an hour like you're stuck, then that really does help, because while I'm thinking, I think of a million reasons to get up and disturb myself, and that doesn't help me get to the resolution on what I'm processing through.
Absolutely. 100%. And if you're just joining us, welcome to Cawfee Tawk, episode 36 with Sunny and Chief. All episodes are uploaded on my YouTube channel. Take a peek, guys, when you're driving, you're cleaning your house, put on the Cawfee Tawk. It's 1 hour. Not all of it may resonate, but some of it might, and it might just be what you need. Like Sunny said yesterday, I re-listen to some of my Cawfee Talks sometimes when I need it. It does me some good, believe it or not. And like I said that, what the heck? Am I living what I preach? They're friendly little reminders, and even my own Cawfee Talks. Hello. So definitely check it out. What do you do if you're emotional, unintelligent? Practice. That's what I say. None of us are handed a manual in life on how to handle life. Not one of us. This applies to our personal life. This applies to our children. No one gets a manual on how to do it or how to do it right. Only you can write that for yourself, is what I say. That is your guide. What feels good to you, not to the next person. What would you like to see? Those are your goals. Those are your aspirations. And are you practicing that every single day? Frizz mentioned how he struggles with ADHD and sitting still. So challenge yourself. It's kind of like a plank. I can't hold a plank. There's no way. I'll fall flat on my face. Start. Is it 1 second? Is it 2 seconds? And I'm just saying this. Not everybody can physically plank, and I understand that. Same applies with sitting. Can you challenge yourself? Put a timer down and say, okay, I'm going to listen to this music, whatever it is that you're doing. Stare at the sunset. And you may already be doing it and don't realize it, Frizz, when you're sitting at the park and looking at the birds or the squirrels. That could be your form of meditation, for instance. But challenge yourself. Most certainly challenge yourself to do that.
Unintelligent, sitting in silence is probably the best thing that you can do, and continuously do it. Practice that because it gives your brain a little bit of space to kind of catch up, and it teaches you really to recognize what's happening inside. Sometimes even if you don't know what that's called or what's really going on, and it shows you that your emotions aren't dangerous to you, that they're just signals for you to pay attention to.
Absolutely. And guys, I also want to say something about that because we can sit in silence and have nothing but negative thoughts. That doesn't mean continue doing that either. And if it gets to that place, write them on paper. Write all those thoughts that you're having about yourself or what's going on in your life, put them on paper to put them into perspective. And then really look at that paper. You wrote it, you're looking at it now, and analyze your life and say, is this really happening? Dang, I really saw it that way. Is it that bad? Because when we put life into perspective, it does help. It does help. Count your blessings, for instance. It could be worse. It could be worse. It could always be worse, is what I say. It could always be worse.
Absolutely. So let me ask you, Sonny, what were some things that you loved doing when you were a young kid to pass the time that would make the day just fly by?
Hmm. Well, honestly, I was creative. I didn't have much playtime. I was raised on chores. That's the honest truth. I had to cook, I had to clean. I didn't get a lot of playtime. Passing time, I just remember parts of my childhood where I was in my imaginary state, like building little houses and doing things outside like that. And that still holds true today. I love to get creative with my hands. That's when I escape. I think you got to see a little bit of that on the homestead, the sunny side of 420. When I'm in that state, I am at my happiest. I'm just free. I feel very free doing what I love, which is manipulating anything by hand, whether it's gardening or crafting. I love arts and crafts. You saw the signs. I'm like Zen. How about you?
I remember when I would walk to school or after school, I always walked along this creek that was like through people's yards, but they didn't really care about trespassing in that little town. Like everybody knew who I was and knew I was just walking to the bus stop to go to school. But even in the summertime, I would spend a lot of time down by the creek catching crawdads, swimming in it. And I've always just really loved being by the water for some reason. Even I remember one time it flooded really bad and some kids were playing in it, and one kid got hurt. I don't know if he even lived, but that never really scared me. I've always been fascinated by, the water flowing and the power of the water, and respected it. So I don't know. I still, even to this day, we go camping. Like next week, we're going to meet up and go camping, which is another thing that I love to do because I can sit all day and the day passes, but we sit next to the water, and that is something that I've carried on from a little kid when I would sit by the creek and just lose track of time as a kid to now I'm a full grown adult, and time flies by so fast that this last time we met up and went camping, it feels like it didn't even happen. It was 4 or 5 days before we went to visit our brother Chillbilly in Virginia, but it went by so fast that it's almost like it didn't even happen
I
anymore.
agree. And can you guys even imagine that? You're in this first camping site, there's no electronics, right? We're literally getting up, making coffee, fire, cooking, water, all of that. And it's like, how did it go by so fast? One would think you must have been bored. No, it happened so fast. And I'm so grateful for those moments that I look forward to the next. And what I'll say to all of you is if it's not camping or doing like that, for instance, the dispersed camping as we do, sitting by the water to ground ourselves, um, find that time, make that time, put it on your calendar. It's so important for your own mental health. I know I'm looking forward to it. That just being able to sit there I can see myself there, is something I get to take back with me when I need to. You know, the sitting there, listening to the water flow and whatnot. Time flies when you're having fun making memories. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Woods in the ocean. Yeah, I am a water girl too.
I wanted to ask because one of the signs that you've found what you love doing is, you feel more like yourself when you're doing it. You're really excited to share it with other people, and then the time just flies by. I kind of lose sense of that a little bit. And
Absolutely.
so oftentimes people, I think, forget what they love. And I like to ask that question, what did you like when you were a little kid? Because that takes you back to before we were programmed to be something else, back to when we did things for us that we enjoyed, back to when we were more curious, more creative sometimes. Because my creativity, like you had talked about earlier, is something that had kind of whittled away a little bit. And I hear that a lot of times with folks. My good friend Frizz said that he used to have a better sense of humor, and he's one of the funniest people we all know that. We all love Frizz. He cracks us up, him and Bean. But when we think back to those characteristics of our younger selves, you can kind of see some of the things that we love to do that we take away from ourselves. And I hear people say, well, I don't even know what I love anymore, or all I hear about is them talking about their work or their relationship and all these things that they are getting caught all of their time in, and they're not doing the things that they love.
Right.
And I think that as adults, we forget that, and we see other people doing things that they love, and we're like, oh, that looks like fun. I want to feel like that. So they try that instead of just going inside and realizing, you know what, I like riding my bike, or I like walking by the stream. Just take a little bit of time for you and go find that and let the time disappear. And when you find yourself there and doing the things you love and the time's going by fast, you don't have the craziest thoughts. You give yourself time to process those thoughts, even time to put a plan into place from a position where you're doing the things you love, where you have love in your heart instead of the worry or the unknown or even the fear, because that's going to guide us into a whole other direction.
Most certainly. And guys, I don't think I honestly started tapping into what brought me peace until a much later stage in my life, honest to God, where I was like, oh, that felt good. I remember this. And then I start to resonate with some of the fondest memories that I have, whether they were with my brother or my grandmother, who holds such a sacred space in my heart. And it was always, gardening with her, the farm life. Most of I spent my summers in Portugal with them. So I have a lot of fond memories. I learned so much, but what I take, it never felt like a chore. It felt like enjoyable times. And that's what I find myself now, even when I was in Missouri that week there with Chief and we were building up the homestead. And that's what it felt like to me. It was a happy, carefree, guys, it was work and it didn't feel like work. Okay. We busted our asses from the morning till night. I think we even did a plank at 9:30 at night in the dark because I was just so excited to have coffee and let's go. Can't wait. It was this feeling. And that's what it reminded me of as a little girl. It never felt like I was doing chores. It was so much fun to learn how to do those things. Probably why I do have, I lean towards that way, or I have a green thumb or an understanding towards the farm life or homestead life, one would call it.
And I think it's when we find those things in our journey that we love that we can turn into our purpose, And that's pretty simple. Like with 420 Chief, the Vibin' with Chief music lives. That wasn't something that I initially thought that would take off, It was just, I always listen to music. I love music. I sit, I mow, I do whatever. I drive a lot, and I'm always listening to new music. And music comes to me. People send me songs. And I had all of the equipment already from doing veteran interviews, so I started doing the music. And what happened is people started showing up, and that started to fill my cup. And even to this day, I get so excited for the music lives. A lot of days, that's the absolute standout highlight of my day is just being on freaking TikTok playing music, but surrounded with amazing people. You know, when people come in and consistently over and over, you build these relationships, and it shows you who's really there to support. But at the end of the day, um, it shows that people aren't really alone, and there's amazing support. And a lot of times folks will come into the music live struggling, and they'll find someone there that's been through it, that's willing to talk to them. And that basically took, you know, one of my hobbies, you know, listening to music and the quality of sound, and turned it into mission that adds value for other people. And it's not me, it's for every single person that comes in. And then now people are sharing it out with friends they know, or relationships they've built with people consistently over time, and it's starting to get even more and more and more folks in there that are on similar missions. And I love seeing people networking and connecting from so many different families on here. We've got the Sunny Side of Freedom, we got Vibin' with Chief or 420 Chief, we got Chillbilly, we got Dustin Sequoia, we got, you know, even Salty Dog on his music lives. It's a totally different group of folks. And Wolfpack, you know, and Gremlin. And I love seeing folks from other groups not just coming into our lives, but talking with amongst one another, and friendship starting to blossom. And we've got Brother Rob, who's in his bubble on Chillbilly's lives, who goes live and he does his gardening. He does a community garden every day for a few hours so people can come in and not feel alone. And I'm one of those. A lot of us spend a lot of time in our gardens, you know, that's therapeutic. But then we're sitting there while Chillbilly's doing it, and we're having coffee, we'll have safety meetings, and there's so many other people that it's like we're in a gardening club, but it's all virtual, you know? And so for me, things like this, coming into your Veterans Live, or even the music lives, Chillbilly's lives, for me, if I don't want to go live, or I don't have the time, or maybe I don't even have the energy to pick out a playlist, I don't want to talk, I don't want to come on camera, I can always jump in to another one of these lives because somebody else is willing to fill a cup. I don't have to do it all of the time. We've got so many folks, you know, doing different things. It's just super amazing.
100%. And that's the community we talk about. We talked about this last night, the importance of community. Never alone. You know, we aren't. Any day of the week, you can find any one of us live, and it's awesome because there was a time. I mean, those that have been with me long enough know there was a time where I felt like I didn't have anywhere to go. I was it for myself. And I was still giving my energy, but I wasn't necessarily being able to kind of just sit back and then go into a community myself. So it's been so refreshing to see everything and experience all these other communities, and at the end of the day all come together, you know, whether it's the Appalachian Chillbilly community coming into my lives, vice versa, going into your lives. And that's what it's about. And you're 100% right. And even Frizz, he most recently started hosting lives, taking himself for a walk in the morning, and I love that. I love that you're demonstrating a moment for yourself and taking that time with your dog, you know. It's so important. And at the same time, I just have so much love and respect for everyone that's given that space to others, because it is friendly, it's welcoming. And with that being said, welcome in to episode 36 with Sunnyside and Sunny and Chief Cawfee Talk. Just a bit of a recap and touching base on community today.
And on that note, keep going, you know. If you're doing lives like Frizz, for example, he's doing his live. Well, he got a gimbal to improve the quality of it. And if Frizz practices that more and more every single day, he's just going to get better and better at it. Just like if you go practice basketball, you're going to get better and better at it, you know. It's no different with finding mission and getting better. And when you're sharing that with your community, the community can act as kind of a mirror, because people will say, hey, you're really good at that, or I really like this, or I would like to see more of this from you. And that can help you even tighten up and define your mission to where it adds more value for other people. So being vulnerable enough to just do it. So many people have these amazing skills or these talents, but they're scared to display that or demonstrate it to other people. And when you take that risk and you just do it, what you find especially if you're doing it every single day and consistently, you're going to find your tribe. You're going to find those people that'll validate you. You might run into some haters too, but it is what it is. You just take it for what it is. There's the good and the bad, but in my experience, the good always outweighs the bad. In this case, I get behind the scenes a lot of negativity, sometimes some hate or people in disbelief that what we do is really making a difference, but it's okay. We don't all do things the same way. We're not all right. We're not all wrong. Everybody's on their own mission, and that's fine. Maybe they're just not ready. But for me, it's definitely helped. And for those in my close circle, I know it's helped.
Absolutely. And touching base on that, two things. We have Rain in the house, and she always likes to make reference to the light that I share with all of you. And last night I touched base on this on our Veterans Live, and I said, I do believe that every single one of us have that light and hold that light within us. But you find it when you explore, and it starts with the healing, right? And that's when your light will start to shine, and it kind of guides your path. But you have to be ready and want that for yourself. I can shine the light at the end of the tunnel, right? But how are you going to get there? You have to walk in the dark a little bit to find your light and then shine your way through. And that happens with support as well. So like you said, it might feel uncomfortable when we find our mission or like, oh, I have something I want to share with others, but I don't necessarily know how to do that. Well, when you're with the right people, they're going to help you because they're going to be there. They're your cheerleaders. If I went live every time and I had 0 attendance, it would shut it down for me. I would feel like I'm adding no value. No one wants to be here. But it makes a world of difference when they keep showing up. So keep showing up, because in turn, you're not just supporting me by being here, you're supporting each other. When you think of it that way and say, oh, I can't wait to say hi to Rain, or check in and see how Wyoming gal did on her first day of work, or how Frizz's walk was, or to tell Frizz I loved his video, or 4 Points got a new app out. And that's the community we talk about. You start to learn a little bit about each other. And it's so important. Welcome in. You want to say something, Chief?
Yeah, I really do, because the more we do what sets our soul on fire, which is that light, like music, maybe it's helping others, maybe it's growing plants, maybe it's building things, whatever brings you peace, joy, that's part of your light. And you do that best when you speak your truth, even if your voice is a little shaky, but when you're being authentically you and not as worried about what other people think, then that's how you really will make your light shine. You have to stop trying to be what others expect and share your story, even if it's a little bit messy. The more that you do it, the more natural it becomes. And that, again, might just be what somebody needed to hear to light their fire,
Absolutely.
So do more of that. Do more of that. What brings you peace and joy.
Absolutely. And, last night, Sunny kicked off our Veterans Live a little differently than I normally do. And I think this is something that I'm going to do every Friday. So if you were a part of last night's live, and if you missed it, here you go. So one of the things that I want to do, and one of the reasons I started even doing what I do, honestly, which is hosting Veteran Lives, is getting to know our veterans, getting to understand from their perspective, and offering a place and a space of love and support. And what I did last night was I kicked it off with myself. Yep, put myself out there a little bit, not much. How well do you know Sunnyside? So this is something I want to see going forward. I'll pick like 2 veterans every Friday, and you won't know who I've picked. And I'm going to throw out some questions, and we're going to play that trivia, A through D. Who said this? Who does this? Who enjoys this? Because it's so important, and it means so much when we start to get to know one another. And that was a lot of fun. And then, I don't have many gifts yet. I have our Sunny Side of Freedom bracelets, Uniting Veterans Across the Nation, which I'm sending out in some stickers. But I'm going to pick up some more tchotchkes because I really did enjoy doing that with all of you. And I have to say, most of you answered everything correctly. And Frizz was just himself. He was funny. Everything was D. But so yeah, join us on Fridays. Get to know our veteran community. Get to know each other because you're all amazing, amazing individuals.
It's fun too, learning little fun facts about other people. It's a good conversation starter and definitely a good way to network with other like-minded individuals for sure. For
Absolutely.
example, like we got 4 Points Ranch in the house, and he and a few other folks, other stakeholders, kicked off a new application called Open Range Social. And I was just kind of perusing through there last night. It's a lot of hunting and fishing, and I especially like that, they do the whole nine. Like you can learn how to skin, gut, and all that you can't on other applications. You just can't see it. But I realized that one of my hobbies on the sunny side of 420 Homestead is I love growing safety plants. And that's aside from, all of the gourds and the pumpkins, watermelons, squash, strawberries, all of that. It's something completely separate from that. And I realized last night that I can actually record and document my grows and put them up on that application. And that was important to me because it's something that I haven't been able to do before, and it's something I love doing. I spend so much time out there growing in the gardens that I want to share it with other people.
Mhm.
And the ways we all do things our own specific ways, and you learn little tips and tricks. And so I think that that is a great example of a network where you can actually share your passion, share your mission, and see how other people have adapted and overcome or how they're doing things. But for me, it was just cool because it's like, I never get to share this out. And now I finally have a chance that I can post my videos and not get into trouble.
And I think for you, probably 2 weeks ago, you're like giving some thought to like, well, what can I post? What would your platform look like? For me, it was easy. I've been putting up some kayaking videos, and I put up some of my farming, videos on my dad's farm, my home away from home, my second home where my family lives. And that brings me joy when I do that. So I share it with all of you. So it doesn't necessarily just have to be hunting or fishing, although I love fishing. If you didn't know, now you do. um, it's anything that makes you and brings you peace and joy, right? So check it out, Open Range Social. It's a green app with the antlers and the R in the center. It's censor free. Let's show some love and support. Download it on your phone, on your wherever, tablet, whatever you want. But find us as well. 420 Chief is on there. Sunnyside 14 is on there. You got 4 Points Ranch is on there. And if you're already on there, you could feel free to leave it in the comments below. But that's what support looks like, supporting one another. We grow together. As Chillbilly often says, let's grow together, or we're growing together. It's so true. We water our plants so they can thrive. We do the same in our friendships.
We do, and then it's so cool to see the different sides of people, the different hobbies, talents, skill sets that folks have. For example, on TikTok, people might know me just for vibing with Chief, or this guy knows how to find music, like the TikTok Rick Rubin or whatever. Then they scroll over to my YouTube and see what my mission is really about and what I kind of know somewhat about. I'm intelligent on some things. And then there's this whole other side with Open where you're just like, okay, so he does homesteading, he likes chickens, he likes music. You guys see me doing the push-ups with my dogs out hiking or by the river, but now it's like you get to see this other hobby, and it's fun to let people into these different aspects of life because that opens you up to different people, different groups. I don't know, it's fun,
Yep.
it's a conversation starter, and it's something that's a positive energy rather than just focused on guilt or worry or doom scrolling.
Yeah. There is, what I found too, guys, and I think this is true for so many of us. We have so many things that we can tap into. Like, I don't just love kayaking. You know what I mean? I also love arts and crafts. I love so many different things and getting into them. That's your creative side. And if you asked yourself, when was the last time you got creative with yourself? Have you tapped into something? Is it drawing? Is it music? What is it for you? Gardening, whatever it is. But I say tap into it. Start, because you're going to discover that you're going to start tapping into a lot of other things as well.
And that to me is a fun one because being creative can mean anything.
Yeah.
We had someone yesterday, Oceanfronts, made videos about you and I as babies using some of our very own videos.
Yeah.
She transformed it to make me look like a baby or you look like a baby. And I thought, that is so creative. I watched it over and over, all these different videos. I couldn't help but laugh and smile, and it really did help fill my cup. But I thought, what an awesome skill set. Like, I don't know how to do that. I'm sure
Yeah.
that there's some app I could probably download and figure it out. But I thought, Oceanfront's thought of us, did that, spent the time to use her skill set to make these
Yeah.
funny videos and share them back out with us. And I thought, what an amazing creative outlet, you know?
That was a highlight in my afternoon for sure when I saw that, in my evening, because I got to see mine after our live last night. And 4 points, I see you. Those were great. I'm going to see if she'll do one for you with the cowboy hat. As you're talking about the ranch, I think that'll be hilarious. So yeah, how creative and unexpected too. And this is what I talk about. We have support all around us, and sometimes we don't even see it. You know, we don't even appreciate it. We don't even see it. And I felt such appreciation for the time that she took, because she didn't have to. The time that she took to make me feel seen. Like, thank you. I appreciate that so much. So definitely tap into your creative side. Give that some thought. What brings you peace? What brings you joy? I saw you, disciple. You came in walking. Walking is wonderful. It's such a refreshing thing to do for yourself, a reset.
Yeah, I guess to wrap it up for me, it was important for myself to not just sit and do a self-reflection and take inventory about all the things that I love, thinking back through all of my life. What do I love? What am I good at? What do I do that others have complimented? What do other people think that I'm good at? What can I do that brings them joy or value that I too enjoy? And like, I could have opened a food truck because everybody likes my sandwiches, but it's not something I want to spend all my time doing. I don't love it. I do love music, so I would spend all my time just vibing out with folks. So I
Yeah.
think, be creative, not to impress people, but to express yourself and stay connected. You don't have to be good at it. You just have to do it. And the more that you do it, the better you'll get at it until
Yeah.
you are the subject matter expert.
I think that's the one thing I haven't done as a creator on TikTok. I've never really made it about myself. I don't think many people know me. They know what I do for our veteran community. They know I'm here for Veterans Live. They know I'm here for Cawfee Talk. But I haven't necessarily showed any talents or what Sunny does or what Sunny enjoys other than the kayaking, which are little bits and pieces of my videos.
Sugar said she does painting and hooping besides the Medicaid, Elevate, and Hydrate. Hooping's a good one, too, because that's physical, and it's so fun to watch. I know if I'm out walking around in a park and I see somebody straight up getting it on a hoop, like a hula hoop, I'm going to stop and I'm going to watch.
That's awesome. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. And I'll start thinking of maybe making some videos of doing things that I enjoy outside of kayaking, some of my creative things. I kind of wish I had done some videos when I was making the signs for the homestead. I love that. I love doing that. I love getting creative and whatnot. Thank you all for being here. We have 24 in the house. Thank you so much for tapping us at 22K. This is Cawfee episode 36. Can you believe it, guys? It's amazing. You guys keep showing up every Saturday morning. You're seen, we see you, and we appreciate you. And it's with all of you. Hey, Jeff, welcome in. And if we missed you, welcome in. So happy you're here. And I know that not every day's been an easy day or an easy week, but lots of love and energy being sent your way. And I hope this is going to kick start your Saturday.
Oh, you got me!
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my
Let's
city,
go. I see Jeff, he's
from my
dancing.
home. We're flying up no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights, when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close.
Episode 36 with all of you. You guys are amazing. Woo! Kick it off. Let's go. Things I shouldn't do, but you dance. Ain't nobody leaving, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling, so just dance. I can't stop the feeling. We can't stop the feeling, guys. You know, this is the energy we talk about. Even if you don't like the song, it gives you energy. You know, clean your house to it, whatever you got to do. I appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate the journey we've all been on individually and collectively. It really is a supportive community. Zero tolerance for anything other than that. We don't always have to have a good day to be a good person. You know what I mean? And that's something that we demonstrate here every time we're live, leading in love, leading the way, and demonstrating what it means to be the difference within our communities, whether on this platform or off this platform. So many incredible people right here, right now, doing such amazing work behind the scenes that are never seen. We know who you are, and why I will also add, if you just joined us, stay tuned, because our veterans' lives are changing just a little bit. And I want to make sure that everybody knows who you are. And that's why I thought last night's trivia questions were awesome, because it's kind of kick us off so you can get to know our veterans, you know, and the amazing things that are going on in their lives and their creativity, missions, whatever is going on. So welcome in, welcome in. We are about less than 20 minutes away from closing out Cawfee Talk episode 36. If you've missed all 35, go check it out. It's in my Sunnyside, I can't even talk, YouTube channel. All can be found in my link tree. Our websites are there. All of it's there, guys, all of it. So check it out, get to know us a little bit, because there's real things happening behind the scenes, always work in motion. So anything else you'd like to add, Chief, from last night, or just I'm here.
I'm Pink Pony Girl. No, it was just awesome seeing everybody last night. I love seeing people come back. I love building the relationships, you know. It's like our little fam. I love seeing it grow, too. I love getting new people in.
Yep.
I don't know. We share laughs. We're fun.
And, you know, just like that, and just right now, as Sunny's made reference to a few weeks now about the Pink Pony Club, for our next meetup, which will probably be hosted in the month of October. I'm not sure where yet, but what I will say is I think I'm going to theme it, because they're so fascinated by the Pink Pony Club. Yes. So I think I'm going to create like an Amazon wish list for the Pink Pony Club, so you all can go in there, order away. So this way they're all dressed in the Pink Pony Club style for this meetup. So I think I'm going to do that for them. I also have another Amazon wish list for our veterans. These are items that you can either choose from, add your own, I don't care. But what I'd really love to do, and you're going to hear Sunny talking about this much more, is actually put together bags for each of those in attendance for our veterans meetup, with all the goodies inside, you know. And if you think that something else should be added to that list, please let me know. And yes, Bo's on the Tense Missouri archery season. We're not doing Tense, but never know, it might be in Missouri again. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to build a stage to dance on in our heels. I hope you have heels on that Amazon wish list, because
there are no
Clyde's
heels.
Got enough to give us all heels. What?
There are no heels. I don't know how you're going to walk in heels. Usually we're camping. It's kind of hard. You'll probably sprain an ankle or something.
I don't know how we're going to Pink Pony Club without heels and a stage.
Well, I'm going to leave the stage for you boys to build when we're there. I'm just going to bring the bows. I'll bring the bows, and we'll get some hot pink tutus for you boys. And I can't wait for that Veterans Live, because that's going to be epic. We may just go viral, you know, the Pink Pony Club brought to you by the Sunny Side of Freedom, uniting veterans. Let's go. So I'm definitely getting excited. I'm starting to put things into perspective for myself, like my calendar, what it's going to look like. I definitely want to see that happen, and you guys are all over it. So thank you for bringing the theme to me.
I hope Chappelle, what's her name? Roan? I hope she reaches out to sponsor a Sunny Side of Freedom meetup. Maybe she'll come dance on the stage at the Pink Pony
Let's
Club
go.
meetup.
So there you go. So this is going to be something that we can start making videos for as we get closer to a meetup, guys. We have until October, so let's get to work and start tagging her and let her know that we have a group of veterans and the Sunny Side of Freedom Uniting Veterans, and this is what they're doing and theming it a Pink Pony Club in the woods. Yes, always in the
4 points. We're gonna have to outdo the Carly Rae Jepsen "Call Me Maybe" remake video with the military guys. I think that we could do a pretty fire Pink Pony Club video. Just saying.
I think so. I think so. So we have a lot to talk about and organize too, Chief. I think that'll be epic for sure. And I'm excited about it. You guys are a trip. You really do help fill my cup. You know, coffee is my love language and it used to fill my cup just fine. These days, you know, life is a little crazy. So it's all of you helping each and every day. And sometimes it's not even filling my cup directly. It's how you fill each other indirectly. That brings me like a lot of joy in hearing how so and so and so and so. When I think about the connections that we've made on here, on and off this app, and I'm going to emphasize off this app, is amazing. It's amazing to know that I met a veteran in a place where they felt very alone. And I know that Rain mentioned there's a very, very big difference between alone and lonely. So I'll say lonely. They were feeling lonely, that no one in the world kind of saw them. You're just invisibly walking through. And to know that they're in a different place today where they can pick up their phone and there's a group chat of others saying, "Good morning, what's going on?" And there's laughter and there's jokes. That changes someone's life. That's a difference in someone's life. So that makes my heart smile tremendously. Brokeback Mountain. Well, I don't know about Brokeback Mountain, Frizz. Taking it a little too far now. I did watch that movie. Just saying. No. Chief?
I'm not even gonna comment. Frizz, that's a
he's your
guy.
friend. Frizz, I can't with you. You cracked me up and thank you. That's 2 days in a row you got me laughing first thing in the morning. And I appreciate you for that because laughter really is a free thing, guys. We can give that to each other. And it's finding the right people to make you laugh and keep you laughing, you know, even when you don't feel like it. So last night, our takeaway from last night was definitely community, the continued community support, not just mouthpieces. We're not just talking about it, we're all being about it. And that's the difference. You know, I can sit here on my own stage and talk about, I'm doing this and it's not about me. It never has been. It's been about all of you and the connections that we're building and how it's improving somebody else's life just by not feeling so lonely and having someone to see them and say, "Good morning," you know, or when I see our veterans in our group chat do the whole "good morning," I'm like, look at them all. You know, it's like one after another. And I'm like, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. The power of connection, guys, strength in numbers truly makes a difference.
That's true. It makes it easier. It's a reminder you're never truly alone. And for me, I always feel like a little kid that's cleaning his room all the time, right? And I feel like I'm doing it alone. But it's not so bad when I got Frizz or I got 4 Points or Brother Rob or Chris or somebody chatting it up with me. And it's like they're there. It's not so bad doing the work when you're not alone. I don't mind doing the work by myself sometimes. Like the homestead, a lot of folks know, I think everybody knows, that we live physically 1,100 miles apart, but we're building a homestead together. And so I get excited to get tasks done, and you give me tasking, but the completion of each of those little victories or projects, I like to send photos along because I enjoy it. You know, I enjoy doing it, and it's not really work at that point, but that's how I share it. We share it with one another, you know?
Yeah, and it motivates us too, you know. If I talked about something last night, for instance, and said, "Oh, I can't wait to go kayaking tomorrow," there's something that motivates me to go kayaking because I can't wait to show you that I did, or make that video, or send that picture. Same goes for the homesteading. You know, Chief gets super excited, but enjoys sharing it afterwards and saying, look, Frizz, look at my plants, or Rob, look at the gourds. So there's something there. And again, always going back to community and having someone to share that with. It's so important. It does boost us, guys. It really, truly does. One day at a time. Absolutely, Sugar. And yes, Jeff, I saw your comment. I'm trying to remember exactly how you said it, but 100%, it's one community. We're helping each other. And I kicked off our live today for Cawfee Talk, also sharing how we support each other's missions, guys. I kicked it off with Cawfee Talk by saying, you know, Operator Cawfee, veteran owned. Never saw them until I saw their videos. And I was like, I love that. I love your mission. I love what you're doing behind the scenes and what you're doing for our veteran community, raising awareness to mental health, raising awareness to never alone. Actually, that's hashtagged on here, Rose22, never alone. So I checked them out. Check people out. You know, we're not just saying, hey, you know, this is for clout. Go check out my website. No, check out the website. Because even if it's not for you, it might be for someone else when you're having conversations. Get to know some of these organizations and what they're doing, because it might save a life. You know what I'm saying? So definitely be resourceful in your conversations.
Might save a life. It might help somebody find their mission. It might help somebody find their light. Even like a 4 Points app, Open Range Social. Somebody might go on there and be like, oh my gosh, that's what I've been looking for, and find their new hobby, you know, their new way of meditation, and make them excited to share out their videos like you were talking about with, you know, if you're doing a kayak video. And now like I'm exclusively doing my grow videos over there.
Yeah.
That's awesome stuff. I wish I had access, like free access to those databases years ago, so I didn't have to spend so much time and energy figuring it all out on my own. And that's what is one of the benefits of having a network like this. What's up, Dustin? And is sharing that information and sharing the positivity, the energy, you know, and support. Because when you have that with good people, it makes you more accountable for yourself. Because good friends aren't going to just sit there in the shit with you all the time. They're going to say, we got to get you out of this. Let's go. And that's what it's all about. And I love seeing it. I love seeing it grow. And
Yeah.
I want to say thank you for everybody that's consistent, everybody that continues to show up, because I have days where I don't want to get out of bed. I have days where I'm like, it's too effing hot. Even the things I love doing, like the homestead, are now a little bit much because it's hot. It's a lot of work. I've already been sweaty. I can make excuses all day, but then I can pop into a live or get a message from one of you, and it's like, man, that's just what I needed. I just needed a quick laugh, or I just needed a quick break. I needed to hear just that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had it if I would have sat here alone, you know, by myself in my shit. So thank you all for consistently showing up.
100%. Amazing people. Welcome in, Dustin. I made reference to you last night, too. We've made reference to you a few times. You know, supportive communities and positive energy and what that means in people's lives. It's changing lives, essentially. So washa, right back to you, my friend. Keep doing amazing things on there and in your life, because we see you. And Sunny hasn't been able to support many lives lately because I have a new job and a little less freedom to do the things that I was doing during the day and supporting some of our friends in their lives. But just know that when I can, I will, and that I see you still. And I love that you come in and visit. It's a 10, a freaking 10. Absolutely. Last night was a freaking 10, Sequoia, for sure. I enjoyed it greatly, but I enjoy all of our veterans' lives. Anytime we are leaving time, think about that for yourselves. Why do you join the lives? Do you do it for us, or do you do it for you? And if you can answer that question, then ask yourself what you get out of it. You know, is it adding value? Is it adding value, or did you just waste 2 hours of your time? I know for myself, I can't just sit in a live unless it's adding value. I just can't do it. It's got to add value on some level. And for some, it's just a feeling less alone. You know, you feel a little bit less alone. And for those that are creators and creating a space for others to come in, feel seen, feel loved, feel welcomed, thank you. Thank you for doing that. Because every day of the week now, I feel like there's somewhere to go for somebody. And that's what it's about. We're building really strong communities here on this platform, but we're so amazing, just going to say it, because we're not in competition with each other. We're just actually sharing the love, leading the way and leading in love for one another, welcoming each other, welcoming in communities like, yeah, bring your peeps over. And it doesn't matter. We're just sharing it across the board. And that's what it's about. It's definitely improving lives. And look, our very own Salty Dog in the house. Love you, Salty. And he too is creating a community of his own, the Salty's Army, and his music lives as well, which run a little bit late for Sunny. And Sunny needs some sleep to get up for work in the morning. But we see you, my friend, and see what you're doing. So keep doing incredible things. Chief, closing thoughts?
Do the things you love. Love what you do. Do what you love. You'll never work a day in your life. Huh?
One of these days, we're going to go live and it I see this happening.
Yeah.
Actually,
what was that movie? The Coyote Ugly. I'll be like that girl's dad at the end at Coyote Ugly, up on the stage. In my heels. Let's go.
So 1 to 10, let's go. Thank you for being here this morning for Cawfee Talk episode 36 with Sunny and Chief. This will be uploaded to my YouTube channel. If you can't find me, Sunny Side of Freedom, or just go right on over to my link tree where you will find a direct link to my YouTube channel where all Cawfee Talks are uploaded. Easy to listen to when you're driving, cleaning the house, whatever the case may be. See what you take away from those talks. And at Pink Pony Club, boy, yeah. You guys are all incredible individuals. Don't ever allow anything or anyone to dim your light. And if you haven't found your light, it's there. It's waiting for you. It's just waiting for you. It's that simple. It takes a little time. Explore, redefine how you've evolved through life's journey. We're always changing. We're not the people we used to be. And it's also dangerous to live or want to live with who you were. We're not there anymore. We're here. We're in the present, which is so much of what affects so much of our mental health. We're always trying to go back, to fix, to make sense of. Start with the here, start with the now, practice gratitude, and practice with yourself. Sit with your thoughts, make time for healing. It's so important. Even I have to make that time every single day. Do you want to say something? I see you.
I do. I want to say nobody knows what you've been through. Nobody knows how you've overcome it except for you. And nobody can ever appreciate that. So you really give yourself some grace and be proud of yourself and go do something for you that you love. Make a little bit of time just to budget it. It's the weekend, I always say use the weekends to build the life you deserve, not to relax from the life you live. And we talk about what that means, just using our examples here on the show and what support means. And I will not be live for music live tonight because I'll be supporting Waxy, my brother, at Doobie's Consumption Lounge in Rolla, Missouri. So if you are in the area of Rolla, that's quite a ways from where I'm at. I'm taking Nana, my mom. We're going to Blacklight Bong Bingo tonight. So that'll be a good time. But I love Waxy. He's Air Force veteran that got out and now manages that lounge, and he's on his own mission to help veterans in his own way. And so I look forward to hanging out with him tonight. So I won't be live, but I'll be back on yours tomorrow night. You're free for all.
Yeah, that's right. And I hope you all have a safe night and enjoyable time. Make some good memories with Metal Mama. And who knows, maybe I'll go live tonight. I'm not sure. I haven't really planned out my day yet. It's not a very good day to go kayaking. You know how it works, guys. I think the weatherman has it against us. Of course, it's the weekend and the sun's not out, so no thighs out today. But so I will have to find ways to thighs out when the sun comes out, of course. So I definitely will have to find something to occupy my time. Otherwise, I'll go a little stir crazy. But who knows? Maybe somebody wants to co-host with me tonight and go live. Let's do this. In the meantime, stay amazing and stay true to yourself. It's so important to find the time to heal yourself, and healing comes in many forms. So find what works for you. Much love to all of you, much respect, and thank you for being here once again for Coffee Talk with Sunny and Chief. We will see you guys again. I don't know if we'll be live next Saturday, so we may not be live next Saturday, actually, now that I think of it. So Coffee Talk will be resumed the week after that. So I will be live either tonight, maybe tomorrow night. I'm not really sure. In the meantime, stay sunny, stay spicy, always make it count, lead in love, lead the way, be the difference you want to see in the world, and share that smile because it's important, and continue to break those stigmas, guys, as we talk about, break the silence out there in the world. You all going to be living next Saturday. Yeah, we'll be on the side of the Clarion River, dispersed camping. That's exactly right. Thank you all for being here. Much love, and take care of you because you matter and you are enough.
Got some stuff you just gotta try. What is it? Pop,